Hey man, just giving you a quick call. I just wanted to let you know that you are so close, dude. You're so much closer than you think. A lot of these big goals that we've had and these big aspirations, they're right around the corner for you, dude. So you just cannot give up. So stoked for you to see this. P.S. We bought a Lambo. So keep going, bro. We'll talk soon. Peace.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Bryson. This is the Bryson Everyday Project Podcast. This podcast is a little bit different than other ones out there. Here, I only focus on documentation. I don't focus on quality or being professional or being entertaining. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I'd love for you to stick around and give the show a listen. You can also follow me on Instagram at BRQUSE. Thank you so much. Here's the show. So going off of yesterday, I was looking at the kind of the pricing structure and the model and everything like that with hiring an employee, how many I would need, the expense, all that stuff, just to figure out a rough ballpark answer or estimate of what I would need to survive with having an employee, like how many sales I would need to make. And what I did is I just went on to made a spreadsheet. There are certain things that truthfully speaking, I would say most things are much better in a spreadsheet as opposed to Notion. But for big database operations, I think Notion takes the cake. So I still use Google Sheets, and I use it a lot. But I mean, I use it every day. But if I have one client at $2,500 a month, then that's $2,500 profit. Now, if I have four, it's 10,000. 2,500 times 4 is 10,000. And then what I did was I factored in an average team size of Notion of 6 people. I think I should actually raise it to 7. So we'll say 7 people. And if I have 4 clients at 7 people per team, that is 28. And then if you times that by, I think, 36, that's the cost for Notion Enterprise, which is the highest tier. That would be a total of $1,008. So with the monthly revenue at 10 grand, the monthly Notion at 1,000 with 4 clients, that would be, So 4 clients, $10,000. The average team size is 7, 28 people. It's $1,000. So that's about $9,000 in profit. But when you add in the fact that I'm going to have an employee, for sure, if I have 4 clients, so like if I have me and Trey Dawson and then 1 more, I'm definitely going to hire somebody. I just have to. And the idea would be that for the time being, it would be him and I, or her and I, whoever, in charge of Trey, me, and Dawson, and then client number 4. Or I could hire 2 people, and then they would just. Matter of fact, that sounds better. It sounds better. I don't know how. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But so if I hire 2 people, right now I made a little math equation, and right now it's saying I only need 1 person, but. I'm going to set it to 2. Well, how can I do this really quickly? There we go. Okay. So at 4 clients with 2 employees, plus my personal expenses to live life, to pay rent, to pay my car, to eat food, all that shit. And then saving 20% for taxes and then putting away $600 for insurance, because if I'm self-employed, I don't believe that I get that. I think it's out of pocket. Again, maybe that's something I'm absolutely incorrect about. But 20% in taxes, I'm just saving it. It's probably going to be more, but I don't know. Just I'm not going to make $1 million between now and the end of the year, so I don't feel like I don't know. We'll adjust later. Not super important, but that's everything. So the total revenue would be 10 grand because that's 4 people. The business expenses, which is Notion and employees, would be 33. And for personal life, that's 3,500. For taxes, that's about 2 grand. For insurance, it's 600. So when all is said and done, at the end of the month, I'm left with a profit. I mean, you take taxes, insurance, personal life, my profit is much higher. But if you want to say business, like I'm profiting 4 grand a month, but that I have to pay for life. It's my job. I have to buy food. I have to pay rent. When all of that is said and done, I'm left with $467. So if I have 2 employees, which is $24.25 a month at what they fucking want on the PHP website, onlinejobs.ph, $7 an hour. And apparently that's a banging lifestyle for them. I don't know. That's just hard for me to wrap my head around because it almost feels like I'm paying them dirt cheap. But when it translates, when it converts, apparently that's just really good. So just trying to understand that, it's kind of been difficult for me because part of me feels like I'm exploiting them, but that's absolutely not the case. I mean, I went to Lexi's brother's wedding, met a guy named Itai, and he said that he has some VAs as well. And he says he pays them, one guy wants $5 an hour. And I was like, dude, is that not cheap? He says, actually, for some of them, it's a pretty good living over there. So in some ways, it's kind of a good thing to do. That's what he said. And I also looked it up last night. It's on the episode from yesterday. You can listen to that. Same thing. So I think I just need to understand that, it's different culture, different needs, different, everything's different. And that's fine. So anyway, at $7 an hour, which apparently is on the higher side, I don't know, for 2 employees working full time at, this is average per month. Actually, let me do something really quick. Right now I have it set times, instead of 4 weeks, it's 4.33 weeks to account for the weeks that don't make up a month. So, a month has 4 weeks, but there's 12 months, that'd be 48 weeks. So we're missing 4. So that's how that gets included. But I just changed it just to be 4 even, and we can make up the difference, whatever. So actually, now I want to put it back just so we're on the safer side. Fuck it. All right. So that brings the total to just under $2,500 a month to pay for employees, for 2 employees, which is crazy because that's just crazy to me, but whatever. And then the personal expenses at $3,500. That should just be life. It's not personal expense. Like I gotta have my car. I gotta pay for insurance. I gotta buy groceries, paying for Spotify, paying for food, trips, whatever. So that's what that is. So again, all that being said, that leaves me with $467 afterward. So definitely not ideal, but that's just 4 clients. So that's me, Trina, and Dawson. Nice. Me, Trina. That's great. Mina, Trey, Dawson, and Bob Smith. If I strive for the goal of 10, that changes the fucking game. 10 people, 10 clients, I should say, brings the total to $9.7 thousand profit. So at the end of the month, that money is, I can do whatever I want with it. And the thing with what I'm building, there's not much to, put back into the business other than to hire people. So, I could... It's so funny because if I were to, I don't know, I could hire more people. Absolutely. I for sure could. But I don't know if I need to. Maybe I should. I don't know. But, I guess if I have 10 grand to throw away or whatever, I guess that would be, I guess I could, start running ads. And it sounds so shitty to say throw away. I just mean if I have $10,000 a month to reinvest, I may as well put it into ads. I may as well do some more networking. I may as well go to events. I don't know. So that's pretty cool. So, I don't know. Maybe this is ignorance. I don't know. But 10 people just seems like a very, very, very low number to hit. 10 fucking people. 10. That's crazy. Now, obviously, this is a lot of responsibility. This is a whole fucking thing because we're talking about hiring people. We're talking about bringing people into the business, Just insane. Real quick, if I were to hire somebody in the States and pay them $25 an hour or something like that, if I did 20, I don't know what the appropriate cost or the appropriate payment for somebody working in Notion and systems and stuff. And I wouldn't give a fuck if they had a degree, or I think I'd only care about the experience and what they know how to do. Communication skills, punctuality, I think that's what I would give a fuck about. Because if somebody says they've got a PhD, but they've only used Notion for a year, I'd say, sorry, dude. Like if they have a PhD in Notion, but they've only used it like in real life for a year, I don't know. PhD wouldn't mean shit. Like, a year of Notion, I haven't even been using Notion for a year. So I don't know. Maybe I'm speaking out of my asshole. But even if I did that, $25 an hour for 3 people, I would still be in the green for 10 clients a month. I don't know if this is not, That's not the most scalable thing, because even if I had 100 clients, I just want to be clear here. It's a 40 grand profit per at the end of every month. And that's a shit ton of money. That's what let's go 150. There we go. 150 clients. I would have to hire 45 people, 25 an hour, 40 hours a week. That's a profit of $63,000 a month. So I feel like relative to what is possible, I feel like that, like if I have 150 clients a month, I feel like I should be making more than $63,000 take home per I don't want to say take home. I wouldn't be using it. Would be to reinvest, because all my personal shit would be accounted for. But if I bring that number back down to $7 an hour, that it changes the whole fucking picture, because now the profit per month goes from 60 to 200,000, and that is a lot of money to do. Like, selfishly, it's a lot of money to like do stuff with. Also, a lot of money to reinvest, to build stuff, to have different systems, different offers, ads, marketing, you name it. So, the bare minimum for me to survive right now is 4. So, I think as long as I keep Mina, Trey, and Dawson, then getting that 4th person should be simple enough to allow me to, number 1, hire 2 people, and number 2, allow those people, the people that I hire, to just manage and maintain the clients that I have, and then allow me to do the back end stuff, to build stuff if I want, to build custom. I don't know. The idea with the employees is that they are almost part of the team of Trey, Mina, Dawson, and Bob Smith. And that's why I would be able to charge $2,500 a month. And who knows, maybe that's actually too little. Because I can't remember what Mina said. We were on a call. He said that these people that he was going to sign with charged stupid money, and he ended up bailing out because the communication was shit. I don't know. Let me see something. How much is Go High Level when it's all in there? $500 a month. Let's ask ChatGPT what it thinks I should charge based on everything. So, based on everything I am building in Notion, if I position it as hosting the platform, the services, the operations team, 1-2 ops people per team, custom systems, integration into their own Notion. I pay for Notion, for enterprise, and much more. What would the monthly recurring subscription look like to be for this service? I feel like that was a shitty prompt, dude. Let's just see what it says. Loading. What's going on, dude? Hello? All right, refresh. If I take what I'm building and pack it, why does it speak in the first person? Oh my fuck. It just started refreshing. Oh my Lord. Let's do this. Concise answers only. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. Like, I'll ask a simple question. Not this is a simple question. Oh fuck. It says reasoning. Enterprise Notion is 50. Okay. Versus ops labor. 2 ops staff plus full service backend equals 150 to 250,000 a year cost basis. Margin requires 60 to 120 a year per client. That lands at 5 to 10 grand a month recurring subscription. Justify this price range. Why is it being so slow, bro? I'm going to pause and then we'll just come back when it's done. All right, so it gave me a whole thing, and it said, here's why 5 to 10 grand a month is justified with what you're offering. And then it gave me a big, long list, and I think it thinks that it's like a full-blown operations, manager that's going to be super involved in all this shit. So I said to justify this price range, and then I gave it a lot of info. I said, what if the ops team that gets assigned to this client did quiet back-end work? They built systems, generated reports, but didn't, quote, lead their department. The client would talk to me, and then I would talk to the ops people to give instruction. And then I also said people can buy their own Notion accounts and build their own systems and pay $10 to $20 a month for the plans. Go high level is $500 a month. Everfit is $200 to $300 a month for all clients. You can get a professional software that does some of the things, but not all, that my system does for a fraction of the cost. Why is this? Justify the price. And it says ops team, quiet back-end work. Even if they aren't leading, they're still building, maintaining, reporting. That's skilled labor, system design, automation, data management. Hiring just one back-end ops person equals 60 to 80K a year. You're providing 2 managed by you. Clients don't have to recruit, train, or manage ops staff. You absorb that friction. Do-it-yourself alternatives, cheap Notion plus software as a service. Yes, clients could pay 10 to 20 a month for Notion or 200 to 500 for Go High Level / Everfit, but those are tools, not solutions. They don't integrate across multiple systems, customize workflows, handle reporting, or ongoing improvements. My offer equals tech plus human execution plus strategy, which cheap SaaS does not deliver, software as a service. Value gap. So Go High Level, $500 a month, a single platform with rigid features. Everfit, client-facing only. Your system covers platform reporting, automations, integrations, ops execution. Buying SaaS, hiring ops, training staff equals $10,000 to $20,000 a month equivalent cost. So why clients pay premium? They don't want to manage back-end people. They want you as a single point of contact. They get the benefit of ops work without adding headcount. They skip the trial and error phase of building a reliable back-end system. 5 to 7 month equals smaller ops needs, lighter reporting. 8 to 10 a month equals deeper integrations, ongoing reporting, higher touch ops execution. The core argument, they're not paying for software, they're paying for an outsourced operations department run by you with tech plus people bundled into one subscription. Okay, well, there you have it. So, I don't know. Definitely something to look into. Not right this second. I just wanted to see what I would have to do, where I'd have to be at, what the numbers would have to be in order for me to do this, because I want to remove myself to some extent from the hourly grind. What I love doing is just building shit from the ground up. What I hate doing, I've come to find out, is importing it and linking it and then relinking and connecting this and connecting that. I want to build one big massive thing, and that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. That's where I find a lot of joy. It's where I find a lot of pleasure. And so the people that I would hire would be responsible for linking and integrating things together. And that's what they would do. They would also maintain and make sure everything runs smoothly. And they would just, what's crazy is I'd have to make a Notion system to manage the Notion systems that I build for other people. Like, I'm building all this for fitness coaches. I need to build what I'm building for them, but for me, for the business side of helping fitness coaches. So, like, how many clients do we reach out to? How many DMs did we send to these? Were they disqualified? Were they over? I'm gonna have to make that for my shit, so that my team can track our shit. So I don't know. That's insane. That's a whole different thing. But yeah. So that's just kind of some brainstorming right there. At 4, I don't even, know. If I have 4 clients, I think hiring at least one person would be good. At least one. And that's fine. I'm putting the numbers in here. That still leaves me with a $1,600 profit per month. I think, just the sweet spot or whatever, the number that I think I should strive to get to as quickly as possible. Well, truthfully, anything above 4, because that's great. But 10, just 10. So if we have Mina, Trey, and Dawson as gimmies, then I need 7 more. I can think of 1, 2, Wait. 1, 2, 3. Maybe 5? 3 for sure, maybe 5 total. So if we put that at 8, that leaves the profit per month to be $7,500. Because it says I only need 2 employees. I think I'm going to bump that up. Let's change the formula here. So with 3 employees, that leaves me with a profit of $6,200. Now, there's a lot of things in here that are not accounted for. One of them being PT Dom. So would I still work for them? Would I still do that myself? It wouldn't make sense logically to outsource all the work for Trey, Mina, Dawson, and then 3 other people, but then me still do stuff for PT Dom. I think, like, logically speaking, that makes no sense. Why would I do everyone but one when the one is, I don't know. So maybe I would hire another person just to take care of that, just so that that's under the belt and we can still build systems and stuff. I don't know. I think the biggest worry is that the shit that I've built in Notion, it's just not even, I don't know. This is just me speaking from ignorance, so we'll document it. But like, how is somebody going to build something like that I have and it be the same style, same functionality, and kind of fit the script of what's already there, so that PT Dom looks at it and like, oh, I know what this does because this other thing is the exact same thing and this does this. So maybe that's arrogant. I don't know. I don't think what I built is hot shit, but it's a whole pathway of thinking and formulation and everything like that. And so for somebody else to come in and pick that up and run with it, I feel like that'd be difficult. So I guess that's my responsibility to train them, get them up to speed. But yeah, I feel like the bar is very low as far as how many clients I would need to make this shit happen. But the price comes from the hosting of the platform and having someone to fix, adjust, build whatever custom shit. That's the justification of the price. And also the system, like they're paying to use the system. And also I think with Notion Enterprise, I think with that level, I think I can restrict them exporting things. Matter of fact, let's see. What is the perks of Notion? I guess what are perks of Notion Enterprise as it relates to security and prevention of stealing systems? I know there's a lot of added shit. So SCIM provisioning and SSO, I don't know what the fuck that is. So SAML and Okta, you can instantly grant revoke access across the org. Saved a lot of time there. No lingering accounts when someone leaves. Restrict pages databases to view only, block exports and duplications. Only verify, so domain management only. Okay. See exactly who accessed or changed what and when. Track sharing, exports, integrations used. Govern integration so data isn't pulled out without approval. Very cool. I can disable duplicate as template. Stops people from cloning entire systems into their own Notion. Limits exports at workspace level. Waterfall permissions, so contractors can only touch the pages you assign, no accidental overexposure. If someone tries to copy content manually, audit logs show suspicious mass activity. Why it matters for you. Without Enterprise, a client or staffer could just duplicate your builds in a personal workspace. With Enterprise, you can control exactly who can duplicate and export. You have evidence trails if someone tries to move data. You can instantly kill access when contracts end. This makes your system feel less like templates they can rip off and more like licensed IP locked inside an enterprise environment. Do you want to outline? Okay. So that's... Dude, I've got so much to fucking learn, huh? And again, the bar is so low. I need 4 people. After that, I'm all right. This is exciting, man. I'm actually building something here. I just have to finish the goddamn thing. That's it. And I spent a lot of time this morning doing that, actually. I got a lot of that done. I think what I'm going to do is eat something, head to the gym, exercise, come back home, and just keep on going. Because it's been a very, very great morning. getting a lot done, I explored a lot of different possibilities and came up with a lot of solutions. There's certain systems that I think are bad. They're just kind of clunky, and I thought up different ways to make them better this morning, and I've already implemented that into my own thing. So the next person who gets the full bundle, it's going to be easy as fuck. And yeah. So I'm going to keep on doing that. I worked for myself this morning, worked for Mina today. And then I'm going to go to the gym and then work for Dawson for the rest of the evening. And that's the day. So this is actually an early show. I think I'm done for the day. If not, then I'll have more here. But yeah, I think this is the show. So if you don't hear anything after this, then yeah, appreciate you listening. Peace out. All right, I'm back. I decided I want to talk some more. I did something. So I just sent the text to everybody. I sent it to Mina, Trey, and Dawson. I sent it to Dawson first and kind of, I guess, gave the whole idea of this is what I want to do. I'll give you this, and we'll go from there. Sent the same thing to Trey, just barely, and I thought, I guess I'll just send the same thing to Mina. And then so I sent it to Mina. Obviously, I changed the wording so it's like to them. I'm not going to just say, hey, you, Mina, Trey, and Dawson. Like, what does that even mean? But I sent it, and I was a little nervous sending it. I don't want this to blow up in my face. I don't know why I think it will. The worst they can say is no and whatever else. But truthfully speaking, the worst that can happen is they think that I'm being X, Y, or Z, and then we choose to stop working together, and then I have more time in the day to work on shit. So to win-win. So anyway, send the text, and I came up with this idea. The more I think about it, the more I think it's fucking genius, and it's just a way to incentivize these guys bringing me clients. So if they agree, then hell yes. But if they don't, honestly kind of shitty. But if they do, then it'll be $2,500 a month. And I said, for every coach that you bring me that signs on, I'll cut your monthly recurring by $250, and there's no limit. So you could very well get this for free if you wanted. And that is, for somebody being in the masterminds that they're in, as somebody being the masterminds like them, I would imagine that they would feel as though they could get that quickly and then bring new clients. So in a perfect world, if they all three of them say yes, and all three of them bring me 10 people, then overnight, there's 33 clients that I'm now responsible for. So I couldn't do that by myself, especially if it happened overnight. So if it happened within a month, that's a lot more doable. If I'm setting up one person's Notion every day, or if I'm setting two people's Notion up every 2 days, or three every 3, whatever. If that's what's happening, then that's a lot more doable. Obviously, it would happen more so like that. It wouldn't all happen in 20 minutes. Trying to pull this spreadsheet up. So if that happened in a month, that's 33 clients. I'd have to hire 10 people, and I'd be profiting, or I guess whatever, $40,000 a month. It'd probably be less because Nosha, dude, what am I saying? Dawson, I just said Notion, Mina, and Dawson in one. Nosha. Wow, dude. It's like my grandma. My dad's name is Gareth. My stepdad's name is Jeremiah, right? Well, former stepdad. My uncle's name is Eric. My grandma's old dog was named Opie. She combined all those names into one name and said Jagaric Ope. So I guess I'm taken right after my grandma, so that's great. Anyway, yeah, so all that being said, if that did happen, and this is like the perfect world situation, perfect scenario, then the price it'd essentially be 30 clients. So I'd hire 10 people. How can I make this do what I want it to do? Hold on. Calculations are off a little bit. That's fine. So what would happen is I would be at $37,000 income That's after all expenses are paid. $37,000 a month. Now, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me, but I look at that and I think, God damn it, I thought it was going to be a lot more. And I feel disappointed almost, I'm not going to lie. I don't know if that's because I thought it was going to be a lot more. I don't know if it's, I thought, just looking at numbers, I could do it myself. Wasn't factoring in employee help and stuff like that. I don't know. Because 31 clients at $2,500 a month would be $77,000. And so I would be taking home less than half of that because of the expenses and paying rent, personal life, groceries, taxes, insurance, shit like that. And now don't get me wrong, $37,000 take home per month is fucking incredible. And I would love that. I'm just, I don't know. I'm just going to speak freely. I just look at that and I'm like, fuck, dude, I want it to be like 250,000. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a bad thing. But this is crazy to think that I would have to hire 9 people. Now, it's a little bit different. They wouldn't be, quote, employees. They'd be virtual assistants. So I'd have to figure that out. If I did hire employees and they were local or something and I paid them $25 an hour or something like that, I would still be profiting $11,000 a month. If you drop it to $22.50 an hour, I'd be profiting $15,000. If you said it was 18, I don't think I'd pay. That's so little for this shit, dude. I don't know. I don't know what to do. But yeah, so if I took the, hiring VAs from the Philippines or Honduras or whatever, then that's the margins that I'd be dealing with. Now, obviously, I got to hire 9 people. All of a sudden, I'm responsible for 9 people and 33 clients, So just like that, it becomes a fucking business, and there's a lot to learn there. So, but anyway, dude, I've been having this fucking pain in my chest, and I thought it was indigestion, and I still think it is, but it's just in the same exact spot. It's weird because it's like where my heart is, but it's not my heart. It's almost like it's muscle, but it's not. It's like right below the muscle, but I feel like I would know if it was my heart, but I don't know. Maybe it's my lungs pushing on I don't know. Anyway, so the whole reason why I kind of offered that incentivization, is that a word? I was trying to spell it, but it wouldn't. It is, incentivization. I couldn't fucking spell it to save my life, dude. Nothing I put together was correct. Thought it was false. Incentivization. So the incentivization with 3 coaches. So 3 coaches already is enough for me to be all right. Well, I mean, kind of. I would need 4 to be positive, but 3, I'm only negative $300 a month. I got credit cards out the ass. I'd be okay if that happened. I think I've got like 30,000 in credit cards. So with this, I would be fine for 100 months. So got a 100-month cushion. We'll be all right. Don't want to do that. So let's just get 4 clients. So the idea is that if I said, hey, for every client you bring me, every coach you bring me, whatever, I'll drop your monthly recurring. That's just pretty sick because it's like, hey, if I get 10 people, my shit's 0. Now, I even thought about making it 500 for them. And so the idea is that for these guys, for these 3, it'd be $2,500 a month, and then we'd have the referral incentive to bring it down to 0 so I can get my foot in the door. For everybody else, though, it might be $3,500 a month. I don't know, and the referrals would be the same, but it would cap out at like $2,000 or something like that. So if they brought me 6 people, then they would get the $2,000 rate, and anything more, appreciate you. That's the idea. So, yeah. So the idea there is to get 3 people out the gate immediately and then be able to support myself, be good to go. And then because it's so little, like everything is so little, like I'd only have 3 clients and I would probably need to hire 1 person. Then, I would have so much time to kind of refine things, to build things up, make them better, while the employee or the VA or whatever takes care of the actual work. But I really want to hammer the point home to whoever purchases this, that they're buying the platform, the monthly access to the platform, because I'm hosting it. I'm paying for the Notion. I'm paying for the enterprise. I'm doing all that. And yeah, so, there's a lot of kinks to work out for sure. I can already think of some, if somebody has a Notion account, maybe they're paying for the $10 one and they don't care. So they got like 30 people on their account, and I switch them over to enterprise. That, it's almost $1,000 a month for that one client. So that's no good. But, for Trey, Mina, Dawson, if their team is 10 to 15 people and they do give me 10 clients, the 10 clients is $25,000 income compared to the $2,500 that I lose from not getting income from them. So it's 10%. So I lose 10% in a way, but like, what's better, 2,500 for one client or 22,500 for 10 clients? If you want to look at it like that. Obviously the second. So yeah. And I just sent the text, and I'm looking forward to getting a response. I have a Zoom call tomorrow with Trey. I also have a Zoom call tomorrow with Dawson. Oh, no, not them. That's Babes right there. I have a Zoom call with Trey tomorrow morning about something unrelated, but I sent him the text and said, hey, man, I got an offer for you. We can go over it tomorrow on the call, but here's a little preview. Sent him like 5 to 6 bullets of what everything consists of and kind of summarized it. Same thing with Dawson. There's no call scheduled, but tomorrow is the normal one-on-one for Mina and I. So I'm going to go over that. And yeah. So I really hope this goes well. I hope everything goes according to plan. The plan is they all are like, oh, fuck yeah. And then I just go ham for the next 6 to 8 weeks. I build it out, and then, we just move the fuck on, go from there. They get me as many referrals as they can, and I would like to think that would be easier for them, so it's much more incentivizing for them to do so because they're in a mastermind. All they got to do is post in the group, say, hey, go to this person, we're good to go. So, yeah. The other thing is with PT Dom, I don't know what's going on. I think the big dogs think that I must have all the time in the world to work on this stuff because they are very confused as to why things are not getting done and they're not on time and things like that. And I messaged Britzy and I said, hey, not complaining, but do these people know that I'm part-time, I'm doing minimum hours? Because from the start, I was hard at part-time hours. If I would have done full-time, it would have changed the entire game for me, but that's what we agreed upon. Not complaining. I love this stuff, but I'm only one person. If I'm doing only 15 to 20 hours a week with projects like this, nothing's going to get done quick. One person doing one project for only 15 hours a week for something as complex as what PT Dom is wanting, it's not going to get done quick. And as long as that's understood, we're fine. But if there's, if it's too slow, and I actually said this, I said, if you need to hire somebody that can put more effort and hours into this, then by all means, I totally understand. I would hate to be the bottleneck for an operation like this, so I totally understand. And that's honestly I would like to think a very polite way of firing myself, because PT Dom is great, and I have no hard feelings at all. But it's the one project, the one client that I have that is just not in alignment with everything else. Everything that I build for them is going to be more than likely unusable for everything else that I use. I mean, there's a couple things that I've built that I could use, but it's a different kind of business, a different kind of operation. It's similar, but it's not the same. And so if they did want to let me go, I don't have any money budgeted into my finances for them. So anything that I do get is extra. And so I'm cool with that. Like, I'm not even factoring in that I even do anything for them. Anything I get is extra. So if I did leave or quit or whatever, my financial health would not change at all, because I didn't even I haven't even factored in the income that I would get. I think I have a few things in there like expected pay, but I put it in big bold and outlined it so I know that it's a maybe, not to plan on it. But yeah. I mean, it'd be great, because if we're talking the beginning of September, October, November, that's an extra $1,000 to $2,000 for, 60 to 80 hours worth of work Or I can get this same exact amount of money by just getting one client at $2,500 a month. So there you go. I also thought about keeping PT Dom. Uh-oh. No, that's just the bank. I also thought about keeping PT Dom and actually hiring somebody to do that for me. Because if they're paying me $31.28 an hour and I hire somebody, let's say at $10 an hour. If they're paying me $30, I hire somebody at $10. That's 66% profit for me, 33%. What the fuck is this? Oh, it's a deposit into my account. More money, dude. That's 66% for me, 33% for the person. And if they're getting paid fat and I'm getting paid to manage the building and the system and all that shit, then hell yes. So thought about that. Not really sure if I'm going to do that or not. The more I even say this out loud, the more it's like, fuck, dude, I got to get out of PT Dom. And if I lose access to the mastermind and I lose that connection, I guess, with Brian and Cole, I wouldn't even call it a connection because I don't even talk to them. I think I'm just a guy that Brian knows to help with, spreadsheets and things like that. And that's cool. But I'm in the contact list now. I'm in the phone book. I could text him. He would know who I am, and that's cool. So one text away. I'd like to think it's the same thing with Cole, but Dawson, Trey, and Mina, that's 3 coaches in the MDM. Those are the coaches that talk to other coaches about what things are working, blah, blah, blah. And, I hate to think that I'm reliant on these 3 coaches, but if I didn't have any of them, it would make for a very interesting introduction into the space. Because with no testimonials, no connections to any high-level coach, I just don't know how that would be seen. Because coming from me with, I got 100 followers or something like that, nothing to do with anything I've ever talked about on this podcast is on not this podcast, the last, I guess, month or two with operations and all that stuff. None of that's on my social media. It looks like I'm just some dude in high school. I don't post anything. My phone's locked half the time, so I'm never on social media. And honestly, my life has been great. So I don't know how that would be perceived. And so I do think the, introduction for me into the market to get somebody on the phone to look at this, I think it would be difficult. But seeing as though I've helped Mina, Dawson, and Trey, I'd like to think that that's 3 testimonials. And I'd also like to think that they would at least help me spread the word. And yeah, I'd also like to, I guess, take this time to remind any listener, it's not like I got lucky. It's not like I, whatever. Started doing shadow coaching shit for Mina. And I told him countless times, hey, this sucks ass. Can I do operations? And he was like, hey man, like we agreed on this, blah, blah, blah. And he was cool about it. And then he was like, hey, I got a role for you, but, we're going to blah, 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 XYZ. And then sure as shit, 1 turned into 2, turned into 3, technically 4. And all of a sudden I'm doing stuff for all these other coaches. And I spent probably 6 months doing some shit that I didn't want to do. And then finally made the pivot. Ever since I made that pivot, like that was the one fork in the road where I was like, I can just keep on going down or I can bail out and go this way. That one decision changed everything. So in hindsight, 100%, that decision changed it all. That one decision changed everything. And I guess like that's every decision you make in life. If you turn left on a road, turn right on the road, and life is completely different because people you talked, like my thumb swiping left or right changed my life forever. I met Lexi, right? Life changed forever. It's one small, tiny decision. Same thing with fitness coaching and all this data analysis, tracking, operation shit. I just decided, hey, fuck this. I'm done. I'm going to go over here. This makes me happy. This is much more enjoyable. I geek out over this stuff. I'm obsessed. I'm going to do this. I'll make it work. And here we are. I'm talking about hiring 10 people. Fuck. Just like that. So I always try to think about what I would say if somebody asked me like how I did it, or if somebody's asking me for advice. Because if somebody asked me for advice right now, I don't even know what I would say. I would just say, hey man, you just got to like put in the time. I don't know what I would say. I don't know what advice to give somebody because I feel like I'm so far removed from what is normal. Like I don't have a friend group. I don't go, drink with the boys. I don't have a gym buddy. I do everything solo. I spend 14 hours a day in this room that I'm in now. The other 2 hours I'm driving to Chick-fil-A or I'm at the gym. That's it. And then on Saturdays, I spend the night with Lexi. Sundays is it's kind of mixed between Lexi and work. And that's my life. Like family and stuff like that, never see them. Friends, hardly talk to them. If we talk often, but it's a stupid bullshit. Like, oh, look at this. This is a funny meme. Haha. Hey, remember when, hey, also, hey, do you think, and it's that, and so like, I'm not trying to buy a house. I'm not trying to, I don't know, go to these events. I'm not trying to save and I'm not trying to travel. I'm not trying to invest in this, dude, all I'm trying to do is just sit here and work and better my skill set so I can develop a product somebody wants to buy. And I just do that all day long, and that's all I do. And so my advice for somebody, I guess, would be to just put in the time and do your best. I don't know. That's shitty advice, I guess. I don't know what I would say. Like, just invest the next 5 years of your life and accept the fact that it's just going to be you in a cold, dark room for those 5 years. But after that, you're going to have freedom forever, and you'll never have to worry about money again. So good luck. I don't know what I would say, dude. Because I don't know what to say, it makes me think that people who do have things to say are bullshitting, and they're just spewing whatever they can that sounds good to get clicks, to get people to, I don't know, dude. That's just me being pessimistic and cynical, I guess. But I don't know. I guess I've just not bought into a whole lot of shit. I want to have my laptop. I want to have my computer. I want to do my shit here. I want to build some stuff. I want to help some businesses out. I want to make a shit ton of money. And that's what I want to do. And so I do that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But to offer advice to somebody who isn't willing to make those trades, I don't know what the fuck to tell you, dude. Do it or don't. I haven't even done anything yet, but that's just how I feel. I'm about to do something. At least that's how it feels. And something else with the PT Dom situation. Oh, looks like I got messages. Oh, no, we're good. Something else with the PT Dom situation is there's this guy, Marco. He's a good guy. Like I enjoy the Zoom calls that we have, and he's the one using the systems that I build. So I feel like I talk to him often about how to improve it, whatever. But he sends me a screenshot. He says, bro, they send me to share this with you. I don't think they did, but it's a screenshot. It's of Cole saying, I want to see the 10K tracker, the MDM tracker, and the CLA tracker. What's going on with that? Also, don't send me a screenshot that is cut off with a list of students. Send me the actual thing so Janelle and myself can open up the list and look at these individuals. I need you to give us access to these resources so we can look at what is happening on a weekly basis during our meeting. And Marco says, the boss is on us with the monkey covering his eyes emoji. And like my first thought, and maybe this is just pure ego, and I'm like, what the fuck do you mean us, bro? Like, he sent that to you. He didn't send that to me. What do you mean us? And like, this is where I honestly felt like a piece of shit for even thinking this, but I want to share it. I was like, what the fuck do you mean us, bro? I'm 10 levels above you. I'm building this shit. You're the one using it. What the fuck do you mean us? Like, you say us, it's like we're the same level. No, we're not. And so I, realize and recognize that is probably not a good mentality to have. A lot of pride and arrogance in there. I get it. I think because I'm aware of it, it's great. But then I felt guilty. I'm like, no. No, I can't be thinking like that. I didn't say anything. All I just said was, hey, let Britzy know. I just messaged her. I'm a part-timer. I can only do so much for 15 hours. I also kind of feel like I'm just gossiping. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Just talking about conversations that I've had. I don't know. Whatever. And he says, well, I didn't know that. And then she already knows. And I says, okay, great. And then we started talking about some other stuff. But I just don't want to be part of these conversations that just like minimize me. It makes you feel like I'm a little ant under the magnifying glass of the boss. And like, dude, I'm good. You know, if it's going to be that way, I'm out. And the fact that I've had multiple instances like this, even from the very start, I should just politely remove myself. That's what I should do. And whatever consequences come from that, it is what it is. As long as Mina, Trey, and Dawson, I don't know. As long as Mina or Dawson, you know, as long as they're cool, I think that I'll be fine if I were to quit PT Dom. The plan is not to quit PT Dom, but if they're going to be, I don't know. I just don't like feeling like I'm being watched while building something. And if it's not done at a certain time, then what the fuck is going on? Because it's like, dude, I'm doing 15 hours a week. Like if I look at my calendar right now, we've got on Sunday 11 to 3. This is PT Dom. Friday 3 to 9. So total 10 hours. And then we've got all day Wednesday 8 to 12 and then 3 to 9. So that's 10 hours. So we got 20 total hours. Just, I don't know, dude. It drives me up a wall. I'm all for the urgency thing and what is it called? Parkinson's Law or whatever it is. And getting shit done quick and, you know, expecting more. I support that. I support leadership saying, hey, you think it's going to take 10 weeks? Well, let's get it done in 2. I support that. However, don't get upset when shit does not get done. Well, what the fuck just happened? Weird. Never mind. I thought something got submitted in my own personal Notion. That was weird. Yeah, I'm all for that. But if it doesn't happen, I don't know. It's. I think it's different because I'm one person versus a team. So if I were to look at one person and the person says, "Hey man, this project you want, it's going to take me, 4 weeks," and I said, "Get it done by Friday," because today's Tuesday. If somebody thinks it's going to take 4 weeks, based on their time frame or whatever, I bet you could shave it to like 2, 3. But to say, 3 days, I just don't know. I don't like that, And I understand that perhaps it's not about getting it done by the new deadline. It's about getting it done sooner than the first deadline. And because you push for it, you then recognize and realize that the first deadline, you did complete it faster, sooner, better, more effective, whatever. And that kind of sets the tone for newer projects. I get that and I support it. But I'm one person doing 15 to 20 hours a week. Shit takes time. Also, didn't even mention this. If I scroll up here, he says, where is it? So he says, but Cole told me he kind of doesn't understand those charts. He wants something easier to read. And I made these charts as simple as possible. There's 3 bar charts and there's 6 total bars. How many people were in Facebook? How many people were not in Facebook? Click on it and see the names. Same thing with the PT Dom portal and same thing for doing both. I don't know how to make it simpler. It's like, Mr. and Mrs. Viewer, whoever you are, think about a bar chart. Think about 2 bars. That's it. That's it. How many people were on Facebook? How many people were not on Facebook? 25 were on, 75 were off, okay? 25% were on. I don't know how to make it simpler. So you want the shit done. You want it done fast. I get it done. You read it. You can't read it because you don't know how. That's not an insult. It's like if they don't know how to read what I built, like that's fine. But I don't know how to make it simpler. It's like if I drew a circle and they said, "I'm not sure what shape this is. Can you help me understand better?" It's like I don't know how to draw this more clearly. I don't know, dude. Okay, I actually just got a text from Britzy, speak of the devil. She says, "Hi. Let me chat with Mark and get full context as to what Cole is requesting." Dude, take me out of this gossip back and forth horse shit, bro. Oh, my Lord. He said, she said, he said, let me talk to what he said when she was there, and let me get back to you about what they said to her. Dude, fuck off with all that. Dude, if I didn't have a heart, I would just say, hey, you know what? I'm out. But I'm not going to do that to them. They're running a business. They got operations. They got shit to do. I get it. I don't want to do that to them. But, dude, I'm getting so annoyed with all this shit. I don't have to. I don't know. And truthfully speaking, like, the more that I even say all this, the more I'm totally cool with going back to FedEx for the time being, if need be, just to pay bills. Like, I'm cool with it. If that's what it takes, bro, to not have to deal with the shit, then so be it. I feel like I've got a good thing going. I know where I'm headed. I just have to get 4 clients and I'm fine. Not to mention, I would only have to go to FedEx part-time if everything else. If PT Dom failed and Trey fired me and Dawson took a shit on my chest, and like, I would be fine. So one caveat here is that I keep one coach. That's the one condition there. And if that's the case, then I would only need to go to FedEx part-time. And I'm only entertaining that idea because I'm just so done putting up with this shit, bro. You know, all I want to do is just build this shit up so I can sell it. I've said it 1,100,000 bajillion zillion fulfillion times on the show that if I can just get to that point, a whole new chapter of this business is unlocked for me. A whole new phase, a whole new motive, a whole new objective, whole new goal. Everything changes. The second everything is done and I then switch to selling mode and marketing mode and hiring mode, for fuck's sake, the whole game is different. But I'm like eons away from getting to that point because I'm putting up with and handling small shit like this. Holy fuck. You know, then I get a text from, I'm not going to put anybody on blast, get a text and they say, hey, will you do this for one of my employees? And I'm like, sure, bro, I got you. And I get it. It's fine. It's what I signed up for. I get it. And that's fair. They're not doing anything wrong. But it's just out of the blue. I'm not even on shift for this coach. Fuck, dude. Hey, sorry, man. I'm not on shift till, this day of the week. So can that wait? Whether or not they say yes or no, I just feel like that's a dick to do. They hired me, and for me to say, no, I can't, gotta wait. I don't want to do that. So maybe that's on me. I don't know. Either way, bottom line of this whole episode, I have a lot to learn. Maybe I'm going about this the wrong way. Maybe I'm going about this the right way. Either way, it's going to be fucking awesome to come back and listen to this. So, whatever. And with that being said, I think I am going to conclude the show. It is 5:22 p.m. August 19th, Tuesday. I recorded the first half of the show, 10 a.m. In that time frame, I kept working, went to the gym, ran a mile, got some food, came home, and here we are. And I'm about to dive into everything to do with Dawson today. So I've actually been, but I'm going to continue with the night. So anyway, appreciate you guys listening. I think that this is episode 670, so that's cool. 1 month till 700, baby. All right, peace out.